Hi scrapbook friends, this is Michele Sizemore, advisor with Creative Memories. Today you'll learn how to do this super fast and easy layout using the Birthday Bash Fast to Fabulous inspired papers. The great thing about the papers is that this design right here with the streamers and the cake and these streamers was already done for you. I just added this embellishment with the circle and I added confetti and dots, and literally that's all I had to do for the design of the borders. So let's get started. I used all of these items that are in here. This is a Power Simple Sleeve. These are the papers, and they're great just like they are. If you don't want to embellish them at all and just add your photos and maybe mat them or something, or just leave them plain. But I'm going to show you how I embellish them up. So this page is already done except for the confetti. So I'm going to show you first how I got the confetti. This is the Border Maker system. Here we go. And I use the Festive Bursts Border Maker cartridge with that, and these colors of cardstock. So let's I'll show you how to use it with this shade of blue right here. So we're going to open up the paper tray holder, open up the arm, put our cardstock in, line it up with all the edges of the paper tray holder, and put the magnetic arm down, flip the paper tray back in underneath. And we're going to put the Border Maker cartridge in this way with the metal pieces sticking out. And we're going to place the cardstock here, match our notches up, and then everything falls into place underneath. There's a blue and a white notch right there. And punch. Bring it out, plop it back in place where you match up, punch, bring it out. I'm just bringing it out just a little. Plop it in place, punch, and do that all the way down. And you can save this part to use on another page, but we're just going to use the fallout that comes from punching out the little Festive Bursts. And I've already punched out some other colors, and I'm going to add these. And then I also used this flower petal punch. I'm sorry, it's called Fresh Flower. And I just cut, all I need from this is this little circle in the middle. So I'm going to look at this from the bottom, and I'm just going to make sure I punch enough to get that circle. And I need a bunch of those. And I can save those other little pieces for something else, but that's the little circle that I need. I need a few more of this color. So I'm going to, or you know what, let's go ahead and punch the whole flower, because I can use those flowers on another page. Well, I didn't do it that time. There's the little circle from the middle. I'm going to grab my lifter stick. This little lifter stick's amazing for picking up little tiny things like this. It's sticky on the end. It's kind of gummy, but it's not glue. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and just punch out some full flowers, because I can always use the flowers later. But all I need for this is literally just the little circle from the middle, because I wanted to mix in some circles with my confetti. Pick out the circles. And I did this with all of the colors of cardstock shown here. And these all coordinate with the Birthday Bash collection. Okay, I think that's enough, and I'm going to move these aside and save them for another page. So I've already punched out all of this and put it in my little tray. So I've got a sampling of all the colors. This is just a super duper easy page. All right, so let's just add some confetti over here on this side, following this as a guideline. Now I'm going to use this little silicone mat to put my adhesive on so I don't get it on my table. And I'm going to use the repositionable tape runner. So I'm just going to look at this and kind of lay out my confetti the way I did over there. I'm going to use that size little pink one that punched out from the Boilermaker cartridge. And I'm holding, well, I'll show you on the next one. So I'm going to put that here. I try to like not put pink on top of pink because you wouldn't see it then. And then there's a blue dot right there. So I'm going to grab my lifter stick and grab a blue dot. And I'm just going to hold the very edge of it with my thumb so I can put some repositionable tape runner on there. I'm going to put it, actually I think that was a purple one, but we'll just put blue. And then there's a yellow one, a little yellow starburst, festive burst. Hold it with my fingernail and put, that one's already got some tape runner on the other side. Let's get a new one. I used these on another layout, so some of them already had adhesive on them. So I'm going to put this over here. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do enough to give you an idea. Okay, so I'm going to put my finger there and put my adhesive on the back, repositionable, and so on until I get it looking like this. And you could add more or less as you wish. I also mixed in some purple there. I forgot about that. Okay, and then I also added my Festive Bursts here, same way. Okay, and then I'll show you how to get this little embellishment right here. We're going to use the custom cutting system. Oops. And let's look at this. Let me show you how to use this guide that comes with it. So I know that I use the largest circle, which this matches up with this because it's the largest one. I'm going to look at this. Yeah, so I did the white with the blue blade and I did the blue circle with the green blade. So let's grab a piece of white cardstock and do that. With the blue blade, I'm going to open up the blade and put this in place here. And there's my blade, and I'm going to put my two little notches that stick out right here inside this track and get close to the edge so I don't waste cardstock. Okay, so that's my inner circle. And then my outer circle was in blue, and I'm going to do that with the green blade because it is slightly bigger than the blue blade to create the look of a mat. It's already open. I'm going to put my two little knobs in the track. They both have to be in that track. That doesn't feel right. There we go. Well, my goodness, it just... There we go. You feel it when they're both in there. It just feels right. Okay, so I'm going to mount my white circle on top of my blue circle with my repositionable tape runner. Okay, and then I'm just going to add stickers to that. Okay, so I added this sticker, and you could leave it just like it is, but let's say it's not a birthday page, or you just want it to have some yellow. You could add this yay on top and make it look like any type of celebration, or it could still be a birthday and just have more yellow in there. And that's how I got this. And I just mounted that there with my repositionable tape runner. And then I matted my photos in the coordinating colors. And I am looking for my, here we go. I'm just going to talk you through the rest. So I showed you how to do this part, and this cake was already here. These are 4x6 pretend photos. So I did 4x6 photos, and all of the mats are 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. I just cut them 1/4 of an inch bigger than the photos. And then to make this journal box, I cut a piece of ruled paper to 3 1/2 inch horizontal, which is wide, by 4 inches vertical, and then mounted it on cardstock, cut to 1/4 of an inch bigger, so it was 3 3/4 inches to go, and then 4 1/4 inches. So 3 3/4 horizontal by 4 1/4 vertical, which makes it 1/4 of an inch bigger than the paper. And I wrote with a black Creative Memories fine tip pen. Super fast and easy. I love the Fast to Fabulous inspired paper. Sometimes some of our collections come with that, and you just mount the paper on your page, or you can put it in a top loading page from Creative Memories, or any album. I prefer Creative Memories. I love them. I think they're the best albums on the planet, but that's my opinion, and that's one of the reasons why I sell it, because I believe we've got really great quality products. Anyway, alternate the colors of the mats and have a super fast and easy page. Thanks for watching my video.